Are you over 60, finding yourself staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wide awake, and wondering if broken sleep is just your new normal? What if I told you that countless others are silently enduring the exact same frustrating pattern, convinced their body is failing them, when in reality, the secret to deep, restorative sleep might be simpler than you ever imagined? Imagine waking up feeling refreshed, balanced, and ready to embrace the day without the fog or the fear of a midnight awakening. This isn't just a hopeful dream. It's a profound shift in understanding your body's natural rhythms. A shift many are already experiencing by unlocking ancient wisdom combined with modern insights. Don't let another night slip by in restless uncertainty when a calmer, more peaceful sleep is within your grasp, ready to be discovered. Welcome to the Shigeki Podcast, where we believe growing older means growing steadier, one mindful step at a time. This is the unique intersection where cutting-edge modern science beautifully converges with time-honored Japanese tradition, all designed to empower you to sleep better, move with greater ease, and genuinely feel better in your life after the age of 60. I'm Dr. Mark Heyman, and to illustrate the profound impact of what we're about to share, let's begin with a very relatable story. Consider Claire, a vibrant 67-year-old who meticulously maintains a healthy lifestyle. She eats nutritious meals, enjoys brisk morning walks daily, and wisely abstains from coffee in the afternoon. Her bedtime is consistently around 9:30 p.m., and she usually drifts off to sleep without much initial difficulty. However, almost like clockwork, nearly every single night Claire finds herself wide awake at 2 a.m. There's no anxiety, no particular stress weighing on her mind. She's simply fully alert, as if her internal clock has abruptly declared it morning. She often lies there for hours, sometimes attempting to read, other times just staring blankly at the ceiling, occasionally resorting to half a sleeping pill just to salvage a few more precious hours of rest. The consequence of these fragmented nights is a pervasive fogginess, persistent tiredness, and a subtle yet unsettling off-balance feeling the next day, which one morning manifested dangerously when she nearly fell while walking to her kitchen. It was at that critical juncture that Claire sought my help, posing a question I hear all too frequently. Is this truly normal after 60? Why do I keep waking up when I'm not even stressed? This question, while seemingly simple, carries the weight of countless sleepless nights. And while I could easily provide my own explanation, I felt it was far more impactful for Claire, and indeed for all of you, to hear the wisdom from someone who has dedicated a lifetime to helping thousands find their way back to restorative sleep well into their 80s, 90s, and beyond. So today, just as we often do, I am honored to be joined by a man I hold in the deepest regard, Dr. Shigeki Hino. He is a distinguished Japanese neurologist who remarkably practiced medicine for over 8 decades and is now well over 100 years old. Dr. Kihino has guided generations of individuals in achieving profoundly deeper sleep, naturally and effectively, without the reliance on pharmaceutical aids. He echoes my sentiments, saying, "Mark, I have encountered countless individuals just like Claire." He notes that despite their diligent efforts to live carefully, eat well, and avoid alcohol, they consistently wake in the dead of night. Many understandably conclude that something must be fundamentally wrong with their health. Yet Dr. Kihino assures us that in most of these cases, their bodies are not sick, they are simply confused. In Japan, there's a deeply held belief that the essence of good sleep stems from maintaining a harmonious rhythm. Consequently, when people awaken at the same precise hour, night after night, it almost invariably signifies a disruption in this crucial rhythm, not necessarily due to an underlying disease, but rather because the signals preceding sleep were muddled or conflicting. Things like excessive light exposure, consuming food too late in the evening, maintaining a room temperature that is too warm, or having a digestive system still actively working can all contribute to this confusion. Sleep, in its purest form, thrives on calm and clarity. It fundamentally dislikes confusion. Claire's situation perfectly exemplified this principle. She typically ate dinner around 6:30 p.m., but often her meal was a little salty, leading her to drink a full glass of water just before heading to bed. What further complicated her sleep rhythm was her habit of scrolling through the news on a bright screen until about 9:15 p.m. in a brightly lit room. Only then would she brush her teeth, switch off the light, and expect her body to seamlessly transition into uninterrupted sleep throughout the entire night. However, her body never truly received the clear, unambiguous message, "Now is the time to fully rest." This profound insight is something that modern research is now finally beginning to catch up to. A compelling study published in Nature Aging revealed that a staggering more than 50% of individuals over the age of 60 who experience nighttime awakenings are not suffering from a clinically defined sleep disorder. Instead, they are grappling with a pattern problem. Their evening habits before bed are inadvertently sending conflicting signals to their bodies. And critically, the older we become, the more exquisitely sensitive our bodies grow to these subtle, often overlooked signals. That is precisely why, in Japan, we approach the hours following dinner with a profound sense of care and intentionality. We consciously dim the lights, making our environment conducive to relaxation. We intentionally cease planning or engaging in mentally stimulating activities. We gently warm the body, often by sipping traditional ginger tea, which serves a dual purpose. It not only aids digestion, but also acts as a soothing balm for the entire nervous system, fostering a deep sense of calm and safety. When prepared and consumed correctly, ginger transcends its role as a mere flavor. It becomes a powerful, calming message to the body. This simple yet potent ginger ritual is exactly what we prescribed for Claire. No reliance on harsh sleeping pills, no heavy or complex supplements, just a warm cup of ginger tea meticulously prepared in a specific way and consumed at precisely the right moment. Within a mere 3 nights, Claire returned to me, her face alight with a renewed sense of peace, exclaiming, "I woke up to the sun. I didn't even notice the night pass." This transformative experience is precisely what this episode is all about. Today, we will meticulously guide you through the intricate yet understandable reasons why waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. becomes such a prevalent occurrence after the age of 60. We'll explore how your body subtly yet powerfully reacts to seemingly minor evening habits, and, most importantly, how a deceptively simple ginger ritual can gently, quickly, and entirely naturally reset your sleep patterns. If you, or someone you deeply care about, is currently grappling with the challenge of staying asleep through the night, we urge you to stay with us, as the insights shared here could be truly life-changing. And if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast. Every single week, we are committed to sharing authentic, real-world solutions designed to help you feel stronger, experience profoundly deeper sleep, and live a more vibrant, fulfilling life at every age. Let's delve into the often misunderstood phenomenon of what is truly happening when you find yourself waking up between 2 and 3 a.m. Most people intuitively assume that these awakenings are a direct consequence of stress, the inevitable march of age, or simply a random occurrence they have no control over. However, in the vast majority of cases, the underlying cause is significantly simpler and, crucially, far more fixable than many realize. As we gracefully age, our bodies become remarkably more sensitive and responsive to even the subtlest shifts in our internal and external environments. Factors such as ambient temperature, our hydration levels, blood sugar fluctuations, and the process of digestion exert a far more pronounced and direct effect on the quality and continuity of our sleep after the age of 60. You might believe it's your brain that's jolting you awake, but more often than not, it is actually your body itself sending a clear, albeit often misinterpreted, signal. Indeed, as Dr. Kahino emphasizes, he frequently informs his patients that waking up in the middle of the night is not always an indication of a problem originating in the brain. Rather, it is often the body itself posing a direct question, a silent inquiry that demands attention. Perhaps your bladder has reached its capacity, signaling the need for relief. It could be that your blood sugar levels have taken an unexpected dip, triggering an alert. or quite commonly, your liver might still be diligently working to process a meal that was consumed too late or was particularly heavy, extending its digestive duties well into your rest period. Each of these internal events acts as a distinct message, communicated directly to your nervous system, urging it to stay alert. And the body, in its intricate wisdom, faithfully listens. Even if your bedroom is enveloped in perfect silence and darkness, these internal signals cause sleep to become lighter, more fragile, and easily disturbed. There's even a recognized term for this common pattern, nocturnal awakening. Studies consistently reveal that this pattern affects a significant portion, more than 50%, of adults over the age of 60. Yet here lies the critical distinction. The majority of these awakenings are not, in fact, caused by a clinical diagnosis of insomnia or a serious underlying disease. Instead, they are primarily rooted in misaligned circadian rhythms, essentially the body's sophisticated internal clock becoming confused or disrupted. Your circadian rhythm, a fundamental biological process, is meticulously guided by a multitude of factors, including light exposure, the precise timing of your meals, your physical movement throughout the day, and even the very first thought you entertain upon waking. If any of these crucial elements fall out of balance, especially as night approaches, your delicate sleep rhythm can easily fracture. In Japan, we hold the profound belief that rhythm is as essential and sacred as breathing itself. It must be steady, consistent, and gentle. Many individuals, for instance, make the commendable choice to eat their dinner early, yet they then maintain a highly active and stimulating routine for hours afterward. This prolonged activity prevents the body from ever truly entering a genuine wind-down phase, a crucial period of pre-sleep preparation. When this happens, even a seemingly minor trigger, such as a subtle shift in blood pressure or a lingering digestive process, can be sufficient to prematurely pull you out of your hard-earned sleep. Let me offer a concrete example to illustrate this point. If you indulge in a particularly salty dinner, your body will naturally retain more water in response. While you may not consciously feel thirsty at that moment, your brain, sensing the imbalance, will inevitably signal for fluid later in the night. This often leads to late evening water intake, which in turn frequently culminates in that all too familiar 2 a.m. bathroom trip. Alternatively, consider if you consistently skip protein at your dinner meal, your blood sugar levels might experience a sharp crash during the night, another very common culprit behind sudden awakenings. Even the seemingly innocuous act of screen time has a tangible impact. A revealing study conducted by Stanford University demonstrated that a mere 30 minutes of phone usage before bedtime can delay the natural production of melatonin, our essential sleep hormone, by over an hour. Therefore, as Dr. Kahino succinctly puts it, people often wake up not because there is an inherent flaw or something fundamentally wrong with them, but rather because their body has either been inadvertently overstimulated or, conversely, significantly undersupported in its natural preparation for rest. This is precisely why, in our approach, we meticulously examine the critical hours spanning between dinner and sleep, focusing not merely on the specific activities one engages in, but also on how one feels during this period. This holistic perspective is where the profound benefits of ginger begin to reveal themselves, not as a miraculous cure-all, but as a gentle yet powerful calming cue. Warm ginger, when consumed correctly, profoundly aids in slowing down digestion, allowing the body to process food more efficiently and quietly. It also plays a supportive role in regulating blood sugar levels, preventing those disruptive nighttime crashes. Furthermore, and crucially for sleep, it imparts a gentle warmth to the body in a way that unequivocally signals safety and comfort to the nervous system, ushering in a state of relaxation. While we will delve into the precise details of how and when to best integrate ginger into your evening ritual in the next segment, for now, simply hold on to this vital insight. Waking up in the middle of the night doesn't automatically mean your sleep system is irrevocably broken. More often, it signifies that your body's pre-sleep signals simply need a gentle adjustment. Rectify the rhythm, and often, deep, restorative rest will naturally and effortlessly return on its own. Now let's explore ginger, not merely as a culinary spice, but as an extraordinarily powerful tool to cultivate profoundly better sleep. Most people typically associate ginger with remedies for colds or alleviating nausea, and indeed, it excels in those applications. However, when strategically employed, ginger also possesses remarkable properties that help regulate digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and even harmonize your body's internal temperature, all of which play a direct and pivotal role in determining the quality of your nighttime sleep. The fundamental key lies not just in ginger's inherent capabilities, but precisely in when and how you choose to utilize it. For centuries in Japan, ginger has been cherished and utilized, not as a quick fix or a cure, but as a wise guide, gently nudging the body towards balance and rest. Fresh ginger, in its natural state, effectively stimulates circulation and imparts a gentle, comforting warmth to the body's core. This specific warmth is instrumental in relaxing tight muscles, calming an overactive digestive system, and enhancing blood flow to the stomach and intestines. A gut that is relaxed and functioning smoothly translates directly to fewer signals of discomfort or activity during the night, allowing for undisturbed rest. What many people often fail to grasp is a critical truth. Truly good sleep necessitates that the stomach, and indeed the entire digestive process, largely goes quiet. If digestion remains vigorously active, the body inherently stays in a state of alertness, making deep sleep elusive. Ginger gracefully assists the stomach in completing its work more swiftly and smoothly, particularly after a warm evening meal. Moreover, there is robust scientific research now backing these traditional observations. A compelling 2018 study published in the Iranian Journal of Basic Medical Sciences demonstrated that ginger effectively helps in lowering cortisol, which is your body's primary stress hormone. Another significant study featured in phytotherapy research discovered that consistent daily ginger consumption noticeably improves sleep quality scores in older adults within a remarkably short period of just 2 weeks. However, as we previously emphasized, the full spectrum of these benefits is inextricably linked to the precise method of its preparation and consumption. Many individuals will opt for powdered ginger tea, often mixed with honey or lemon, and then understandably expect immediate results. While this approach is certainly not harmful, it falls short of being optimal. Powdered ginger is a more processed form, and during this processing, it inevitably loses a significant portion of the active oils and enzymes that imbue fresh ginger with its profound effectiveness. Furthermore, the addition of sugar, even natural honey, can unfortunately cause unwelcome spikes in blood sugar levels, a particularly disruptive effect if consumed late in the evening before bed. For your body to fully receive and effectively interpret the calming message ginger intends to send, the preparation process must be deliberately simple and pure. We advocate for thin, delicate slices of fresh ginger, crucially not chopped or crushed, which should be gently simmered in pure water for a minimum duration of 5 to 7 minutes. It is paramount that no sugar, no black tea, and no other stimulants are added. The essence of this ritual is solely about warmth, quietude, and a focused, mindful attention to the process. Often we choose to pair this simple ginger infusion with a small piece of cinnamon bark or a sliver of dried orange peel, not primarily for flavor enhancement, but for their synergistic properties that offer additional warmth and enhanced digestive support. This thoughtful combination works harmoniously to stimulate the vagus nerve, a vital conduit that directly connects the gut to the brain and plays an absolutely key role in calming the entire nervous system. When the vagus nerve is soothed, a cascade of beneficial physiological responses occurs. The heart rate gradually slows, blood pressure experiences a slight calming drop, and the body instinctively begins its natural, effortless preparation for deep, restorative sleep. Another crucial aspect that many inadvertently overlook is the precise timing of this ritual. If you wait to drink your ginger tea just 5 minutes before you intend to climb into bed, it is simply too late for your body to fully integrate and respond to its effects. The body requires ample time to process the gentle warmth and initiate the critical shift into its restful mode. Our recommendation is to consume the ginger tea approximately 45 minutes to an hour after your dinner, rather than immediately before you lie down. This intentional timing allows the stomach sufficient opportunity to begin its slowing down process, and the beneficial warmth can take full effect before your body naturally reaches its lowest nighttime temperature, which typically occurs around 2 or 3 a.m. This specific drop in core body temperature is a profoundly significant factor in sleep regulation. When your core temperature decreases too rapidly or too drastically, particularly in older adults, it can inadvertently trigger a stress response. Your body misinterprets this sudden chill, perceiving it as an anomaly or a threat, and consequently becomes alert, interrupting your sleep. Ginger, in its gentle wisdom, helps to smooth out this critical temperature curve. It works by warming the body gently and gradually, subsequently allowing your core temperature to cool down slowly and naturally without any sudden shocks or abrupt dips. The result is a quiet, harmonious balance that promotes continuous sleep. In our forthcoming discussion, we will meticulously walk you through the complete ritual, detailing precisely how to prepare and incorporate this ginger infusion to optimally support your sleep. Now that we have a thorough understanding of the fundamental reasons why ginger is such a powerful ally for sleep, let's meticulously break down the exact correct method for its use. This is not about promoting any specific product. You absolutely do not need expensive or obscure ingredients. What truly matters above all else is the meticulous preparation, the precise timing, and the quiet, calming environment you consciously cultivate around this ritual. Begin by acquiring fresh ginger root, unequivocally avoiding powdered versions. After washing it thoroughly, slice 3 to 5 thin pieces, aiming for enough to comfortably fill a tablespoon when laid flat. Place these delicate slices into a small pot along with 1.5 to 2 cups of pure water. Bring the water to a boil, then immediately reduce the heat and allow it to simmer gently for a consistent 5 to 7 minutes. That is truly all there is to the core preparation. No honey, no prepackaged tea bags, no lemon, just the pure essence of water and ginger. If you find your digestion tends to be sluggish or your hands often feel cold, you may consider adding a small piece of cinnamon stick or a sliver of dried orange peel. These additions are not merely for taste. They actively support improved circulation and enhanced digestion. Once brewed, pour the fragrant tea into a ceramic cup. Find a comfortable spot to sit and sip slowly, mindfully, allowing yourself to fully feel the soothing warmth as it permeates your body. Consciously let your breath deepen and slow naturally as you drink. This tea is far more than just its ingredients. It's about the profound message of safety and stillness it conveys to your body. Haste and rush do not feel safe to the nervous system. It is highly recommended to consume your ginger tea approximately 45 minutes to an hour after finishing dinner. During this period, actively avoid screens and any stimulating digital devices. Dim the lights in your environment, creating a soft, inviting ambiance. Engage in gentle, unhurried movements if you need to move at all. An incredibly beneficial additional step, if feasible, is to soak your feet in warm water after drinking the tea. This simple practice helps to draw blood to the surface of your skin, a physiological response that significantly supports your body's natural and gradual temperature drop, a key, unmistakable signal for the initiation of sleep. You absolutely do not require a luxurious, fancy foot bath. A small plastic tub or even a clean bucket will serve the purpose perfectly well. Use warm water, ensuring it's not uncomfortably hot, and immerse your feet for about 10 to 12 minutes. This gentle, consistent heat facilitates the opening of blood vessels and profoundly calms your nervous system. Afterward, dry your feet thoroughly and slip into soft, comfortable socks. Maintain the low lighting. Consciously try to limit conversation and, crucially, avoid mentally planning or worrying about the tasks of tomorrow. Allow the evening to grow quiet, not just in your external surroundings, but profoundly within your own mind and body. In Japan, we perceive perceive this intentional winding down as meticulously setting the tone for the entire night ahead. The ultimate objective is never to forcefully command sleep, but rather to gently invite its presence. When the body feels genuinely cared for and nurtured, it responds with a remarkable willingness to rest. The sensation of warmth communicates to the stomach that its work for the day is done. Stillness signals to the heart that it is time to slow its rhythm. Quietude informs the brain that it can safely cease its incessant planning and analysis. Every single element of this ritual, no matter how small, sends a clear, unified message. You are safe to rest now. If this entire process feels overwhelming, please do not worry. There is no expectation of perfection. Simply begin with one single component. Perhaps it's just boiling the ginger, or maybe it's sipping it slowly, or even just sitting still for a few minutes. Even such a small, consistent habit begins the crucial process of rebuilding your fractured sleep rhythm. If you commit to this consistency for just 3 consecutive nights, most people report a noticeable change. It might not immediately be a night of perfect, uninterrupted sleep, but you'll likely experience fewer awakenings, mornings that feel calmer and more balanced, and a body that gradually begins to rediscover its innate capacity for trust in its own ability to rest. The body possesses an incredible memory, and even after years of struggling with poor sleep, it often only requires a small, consistent nudge to rediscover its inherent rhythm once more. Ginger, in this context, can be a profoundly powerful tool, but like any instrument, its effectiveness is entirely dependent on its correct and thoughtful application. I've frequently encountered patients who, disheartened, tell me, "I tried the ginger tea and it simply didn't help." When I then gently inquire with a few targeted questions, the root of the problem is almost invariably not the ginger itself, but rather the way in which it was used. One of the most pervasive mistakes is the substitution of powdered ginger for fresh. Powdered versions, regrettably, lose a significant portion of the natural, volatile oils that are so crucial in supporting healthy digestion and optimal circulation. Some powdered products even contain unwanted fillers or added sugars, which can cause detrimental spikes in blood sugar and further disrupt your already delicate sleep rhythm. Another critical issue is the timing of consumption, drinking it too late. If you postpone your ginger tea until a mere 5 minutes before you intend to go to bed, your body simply does not have adequate time to process its calming effects and initiate the necessary shift into rest mode. Instead of soothing you, it might paradoxically activate digestion, which then contributes to a disruptive awakening later in the night. Furthermore, many individuals instinctively add sweeteners such as honey or sugar, inadvertently transforming what should be a calming, therapeutic tea into a light dessert. Even natural sugars, when consumed late at night, can elevate your blood sugar, which very often experiences a sharp crash in the middle of the night, directly triggering that unwelcome 2 a.m. wake-up. Dr. Kahino confirms that he has witnessed these identical mistakes countless times in Japan. He observes that some patients treat ginger tea as merely a quick fix, something they mindlessly consume while simultaneously checking their phone or watching television. However, sleep, by its very nature, does not respond favorably to noise or distraction. It thrives and responds profoundly to quiet, intentional calm. The ginger tea should be an integral, cherished part of a conscious winding down ritual, not just another item hastily checked off a never-ending to-do list. Another common misstep is the neglect of the rest of the evening's environment. Even if the ginger tea is prepared and consumed perfectly, bright, stimulating lights, excessively late or heavy meals, or persistent mental stress will effectively nullify its beneficial effects. Ginger acts as a powerful support to the process, but it cannot and should not be expected to replace the fundamental requirement of a calm, conducive environment. Some people, operating under the mistaken assumption that more is better, might use an excessively large amount of ginger, believing it will yield faster or more potent results. However, too much ginger can actually irritate the stomach or, counterproductively, raise your body temperature too high, particularly if you are already sensitive to warmth. It is best to stick to 3 to 5 thin slices. This quantity is entirely sufficient to achieve the desired effect. Another observation Dr. Kahino frequently makes is the use of ginger supplements instead of the traditional tea. While these capsules may offer benefits for inflammation or pain management, they simply do not provide the crucial warmth and vital sensory signals, the aroma, the taste, the heat that your body instinctively needs to prepare for sleep. The ginger tea ritual is not solely about the chemical compounds present. It encompasses the holistic experience of warmth, scent, gentle breath, and profound stillness. The body, in its natural wisdom, does not respond well to shortcuts. Instead, it listens attentively to small, consistently repeated signals, rather than expecting sudden, isolated actions to yield lasting results. Make a conscious effort to avoid multitasking while you drink your tea. Sit down purposefully. Breathe slowly and deeply. Allow your nervous system the necessary time to catch up and synchronize with your body. If you bypass this crucial step, the ginger sadly becomes just another flavor, losing its potent message to your deeper self. Here is a simple, actionable checklist to ensure you harness ginger's full potential. Always use fresh ginger, never powdered. Drink it specifically after dinner, not directly at bedtime. Absolutely avoid adding sugar, honey, or lemon. Sit down, consciously slow down, and drink your tea without any distractions. Do not rely on supplements. Embrace the authentic whole root. Getting just 1 or 2 of these elements slightly wrong will likely not completely sabotage your sleep. However, the more consistent and mindful you are in following these guidelines, the more effectively your body will understand and respond to the profound message you are attempting to convey. It is not about achieving unattainable perfection. It is profoundly about cultivating a consistent, gentle rhythm. Even seemingly minor, thoughtful changes, applied consistently night after night, can help your body begin to trust in its capacity for rest once more, provided you send the right, unwavering signals. If you have been grappling with the frustrating experience of broken sleep, particularly those jarring awakenings at 2 or 3 a.m., we sincerely hope this episode has offered you something genuinely new and promising to try. Sleep after 60 is by no means lost to you. It simply requires a different, more informed kind of support. Your body is not broken. It is incredibly attuned and consistently listening to the myriad signals you are sending it. Change those signals, and you will begin to witness your natural sleep rhythm gently, yet powerfully, return. You don't need to implement every single change perfectly from the outset. Start with just one small adjustment tonight. Perhaps it's simply trying the ginger tea ritual. Maybe it's making a conscious effort to dim the lights in your home a little earlier. Or perhaps it's the straightforward act of turning off your phone a full 30 minutes before you intend to go to bed. Remember, consistency in these small actions matters far more than the intensity of a single drastic change. Dr. Kahino shares that he has treated literally thousands of older patients who, at one point, had resigned themselves to the belief that deep, restorative sleep was no longer a possibility for them. Yet, in the vast majority of these cases, their struggle was simply a matter of being out of rhythm, not truly out of time or capability. When the body is made to feel genuinely safe and secure, it instinctively chooses to rest. When the evening atmosphere is quiet and unhurried, the mind naturally ceases its endless planning and worrying. When digestion is calm and settled, sleep maintains its depth and continuity. You don't necessarily need more pills or complex interventions. What you truly need are better, more attuned habits. So here is our heartfelt message for you tonight. Offer your body one small yet profound sign that rest is not just desired, but genuinely welcome. Allow warmth and stillness to gently lead the way. Do not chase sleep. Instead, invite it with grace and patience. And if it doesn't arrive immediately, that is perfectly all right. Rebuilding a natural rhythm takes time and persistent effort, but once it returns, it becomes a steadfast companion for life. If you found this podcast helpful and insightful, please consider sharing it with someone you deeply care about. So many people over 60 are silently struggling with sleep, believing they are uniquely alone in their experience. We look forward to joining you in the next episode. Until then, please take good care, rest well, and may you stay steady.